Hello, wannabe hockey players and water distribution engineers coming to you from the 14th Fairway in Burbank, California. This is the Film versus Film podcast. I am your extremely well-hydrated host, Quinn Boyes. I have seen over 24 Adam Sandler movies in my lifetime, and I am sharing an athletic cup with my friend and co-host. I eat pieces of shit like him for breakfast, Leonard Smith Jr. Leonard, what's up, man?
And you eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
Well, no.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, honestly, I feel like a piece of shit on this DeBell golf course here in Burbank, California. These fairways are way too narrow. But I could use a nice cold glass of water. If you haven't figured out any of the references we just made, we are talking about Adam Sandler movies today. And I'm pretty excited.
Specific prompt this week I'm very excited about. We haven't done one of these since we did the what's the best Samuel L. Jackson movie?
And I'm still bitter about that one.
What was the answer to that?
It was obviously Snakes on a Plane.
Snakes on a Plane beat
what?
Django Unchained thanks to our first ever guest, Roderick Benson.
Oh man, what constitutes a Samuel L. Jackson movie though? Like, is Pulp Fiction a Samuel L. Jackson movie?
It would have probably won if Leonard had picked it
apparently,
instead of Django.
No, apparently, according to Quinn and Rod, it's not. You know, it's got to just be Samuel L. Jackson yelling and cursing.
Let's settle that one, because that was interesting, and we're gonna be defining what makes an Adam Sandler movie. But this is the time to revisit Leonard's trauma, because I won that episode not because Snakes on a Plane is the definitive Samuel L. Jackson movie, but because he's Samuel L. Jackson as we think about him most. And Leonard picked a very good Samuel L. Jackson performance as in Django Unchained, but not the role that people think about. Like, if you're going to pick a Quentin Tarantino Samuel L. Jackson movie, I think you lost because you didn't pick Pulp Fiction. And I won because I picked a movie where Samuel L. Jackson says motherfucker a lot. He has a gun and he's swearing and cussing people out and just being a boss. And that's why I beat you, Leonard. So stop being mad at me and start being mad at yourself for your subpar pick.
You're right. You might be right.
The correct answer anyway is The Negotiator, but I'll let you guys continue.
That voice you're hearing now is our guest for today. A very talented, hilarious, sweet, just great guy. Ahsohn Williams. How you doing, Ahsohn?
Well, yo, what up? I'm good. Excited to talk about Adam Sandler with you gents today.
Yeah, we're excited for having you on.
Ahsohn, we asked Ahsohn, is there anything particular he wanted to talk about or any type of genre, and he gave us the Adam Sandler prompt, and I was excited about it.
What made you
guys? Sorry, go ahead.
Well, maybe we're thinking the same thing. What made you think about Adam Sandler movies? And we've talked about doing this one before, Leonard, but you came up with this your own, right? You didn't give this to Ahsohn, right, Leonard?
No, he gave it to me. Yeah.
Well, I was surprised because I knew both of you were. I know both of you are comedians. Obviously, I know Leonard is, and I knew both of you were very funny. And I was shocked as I was looking at the episodes on the podcast, and you guys hadn't done any Adam Sandler movies yet. And I'm like, "Come on, guys!"
Yeah, right. If you grew up in the 90s, you at some point idolized Adam Sandler.
I was shocked you guys hadn't done any Adam Sandler movies, and I'm a big fan and a big apologist for Adam Sandler movies. So I was like, it's a perfect opportunity.
This should be a fun episode then.
Yeah. Well, and if you were listening to my intro, I sprinkled some hints in there about what our two picks were. But let's go out and take away all mystery. Leonard, do you want to talk about your pick?
I chose the 1998 Adam Sandler classic, The Waterboy. When you think of Adam Sandler, you instantly think of Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, Waterboy. I feel like those were like his first three movies, like three big movies. And, Waterboy, I feel like maybe because, obviously with him, sports is involved a lot. But as a kid, I didn't know anything about golf. I didn't watch golf. I loved Happy Gilmore, but just The Waterboy resonated more with me because of him, football being involved and just like the Southern hospitality and stuff. It was just it was in my wheelhouse, basically.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then you just gave mine, which I think most people would have put together already. I chose Happy Gilmore, the film about a frustrated hockey player who cannot skate but has a wicked slap shot, taking his talents to the golf course, and realizing he can drive a ball 450 yards, which So Leonard, you didn't know anything about golf as a boy. I don't know anything about golf as a man, but I am a big fan of this movie because I don't really think you need to know much about golf other than some of the like social elements of the game, about how it's like a stuffy old kind of, don't clap when don't distract someone when they're taking the tee. And so it's that like bringing the rowdy hockey mentality to golf and bringing the insane anger Adam Sandler mentality to the quiet, subdued game of golf. And it's just about Happy's trying to win his grandmother's house back. So he winds up joining one of the tours and becoming a great golfer along the way, and hijinks ensue, and we'll get more into it.
I would say if you didn't know anything about golf, you would enjoy the movie probably a lot more. I didn't explain anything about The Waterboy. The Waterboy is about a 31-year-old man who is the water distribution. I don't fucking know what the term is.
Water distribution engineer
for for Louisiana University. He's been the water boy there for 18 years. The coach hates him. Everyone hates him. Everyone treats him like shit. It's pretty fucked up how people treat him. He's for sure like on the spectrum. And
yeah, we'll talk about that.
yeah, we'll talk about that for sure. He gets fired from that job. He goes to this smaller school that is underfunded, terrible. Coach has mental issues, and he works for free. He eventually snaps and destroys one of the players, and they see that he has this ability to tackle the shit out of people. And of course, they put him on the team, and he leads the team to a bowl game, and the Bourbon Bowl. And I also just completely passed over the part that he has an overbearing, controlling mother who homeschooled him, and
the best part of the movie, played by Kathy Bates, Mama.
Yeah. How did you feel, Ahsohn, when we gave you these picks?
I felt good. These are two solid choices. I enjoy both of these films immensely. You picked two Adam Sandler sports movies, which is I don't know if you guys tried to do that or if it just happened to be a coincidence. But
I almost picked another one. Yeah, sorry, keep going, Ahsohn. But yeah, no, that was not by design.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was pretty good. I'm excited to hear about both of these. I think these are two of Adam Sandler's stronger entries into his catalog.
Can I ask you, Ahsohn, and I think maybe this is the moment where we can take a step back and talk about Adam Sandler movies from a more macro level. But
I would love to do that.
Yeah. Can I ask you, unless it's one of our picks, because I don't want to spoil the ending, what would you have picked for your favorite Adam Sandler movie?
For my favorite Adam Sandler movie?
Yeah, if it's one of these picks, you can just say we'll get to it later or something. But I'm curious what your pick would have been.
Oh, man.
And if you don't know, that's okay. There's a lot of choices. This was I thought more about this prompt than I have a lot of prompts that I would have thought would be harder, like were harder to define or whatever.
We both mulled over this. My first pick, which I wanted to go with, but I didn't choose because I wanted to win this episode and it failed me last time. Well, I wanted to pick Uncut Gems, but I mean, I feel like it's his best acting performance, maybe his best overall film. But it's not the quintessential Adam Sandler.
That's what I was going to say. Do we consider that an Adam Sandler movie?
So I knew that was going to be Quinn's argument. And
I was licking my lips hoping you pick Uncut Gems.
So I did not pick Uncut Gems. And then it was tough. After that, it was just like, well, shit, all these other movies kind of like are kind of the same. So
yeah,
it's like, do I choose Billy Madison? Do I choose Happy Gilmore? Do I choose Mr. Deeds? I even thought about choosing his 2013 movie, The Cobbler. I don't know if you guys ever saw that.
That's a great movie.
That movie is great. It's actually really funny and really sweet. Yeah, Method Man's in it. It's a really actually good movie, but I also, once again, I want to win this episode. So I did not choose The Cobbler. And I went with the classic Adam Sandler movie that, I mean, I feel like when you think Adam Sandler, I feel like the first two movies that probably come to mind are Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore. I feel like those are like
the name of his production company. Yeah.
Yeah. Those are his first two movies. And, it's one of those things where it's like, you're a rapper and you come out with your first album and it's like Illmatic. Like your first album is your classic album. It's like your first album can't be your best ever album. Like you're going to grow, you're going to get better. And but I mean, I feel like those are the movies you think of. And also, there's literally 1,000 movies. We should have a category was Adam Sandler in your movie, because this motherfucker's made, it's all his movies, but he's made so many movies.
Yeah, so I'll just I'll admit, and because I think I pivoted the right way. I almost gave you Ahsohn Big Daddy, and then I kind of realized that was maybe more of a nostalgia pick. Big Daddy is the first Sandler movie I've ever seen. It also happened to be the first Sandler movie I saw in theaters. So like the first time I saw a Sandler movie, I was being babysat and I was like 8 years old, and my younger brother and I, our babysitter convinced our parents like to go to the local theater downtown, which was like a 3-block walk from our house, and to see Big Daddy, because she was going to meet up with friends. So I don't know how she convinced my parents. It's like, I'll just take the 2 kids I'm babysitting to meet up with my friends, and we'll all watch this Adam Sandler movie, which is PG-13, and Big Daddy is not a movie that will screw your kid up or anything, but I'm just surprised my parents went for it. I remember feeling like such a boss as an 8-year-old, just being like, oh, I'm seeing this movie. It's about like adult stuff. They're making Hooters jokes. There's a kid who's saying he wipes his own ass. Like, that movie for me was like my entry into the world of Sandler. And I think it's actually a great, because that's an Adam Sandler
That's a great
movie.
starter. That's a great starter movie.
Exactly. It has all the elements of Adam Sandler movies that you look for in other things. But then Happy Gilmore was like the sleepover movie king. I don't know how many movies I had where I like slept over a friend's house and like Happy Gilmore would be a movie that was rented. I've probably seen this movie after midnight more than like any other movie, which is maybe the perfect time to see an Adam Sandler movie too, because they're so silly and goofy, and you know, they're not high intelligence movies. So I feel like it plays best. Leonard is looking like something has just overcome him. What's dawning on you?
The Hawks-Sixers game is now a 2-point game with 9 seconds left. Anyways,
oh my God. This will not be relevant when this episode comes out a week from now, but
the series might still be going.
Adam Sandler, also a huge basketball fan.
He's a huge basketball fan.
You were saying
it all ties in.
I appreciate.
You're saying Ahsohn is weird to pick sports movies, but Adam Sandler, I've never seen a picture of him offset, not in basketball shorts. So I think it makes perfect sense.
I also appreciate the fact that he like never made a basketball movie. Like he was
I feel like it's gonna happen though. Like I feel like but at this point he'll be playing the coach. But
he'll be the coach.
He'll make a basketball movie for sure. That'll be his penultimate movie he makes right before he dies.
So I took it upon myself. So Adam Sandler has been in a ton of movies, but we talked about Uncut Gems. I would have hit you over the head with it, Leonard. That is not an Adam Sandler movie as we commonly think of them. So I went back, starting with Billy Madison in 1995, and I went and just listed from his IMDb every movie that I would say is an Adam Sandler movie.
Okay, give us that list.
And I'm going to give you that list. It's longer than you think, and then like stop me or tell me after if you think any of these don't qualify. But he's had like a movie a year since 1995. Here we go. Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, 1996, Wedding Singer, 98.
You know what we should do? We should, as we go through this list, we should say if their movies are good or bad.
Okay. Yeah. Well, for me, there's going to be a hard turn where I just start giving thumbs down all the way, like Joaquin Phoenix and Gladiator. I'm just going to be thumbs downing after but okay. Yeah, let's do that. I love that.
Commodus.
Okay. Billy Madison. That's a thumbs up.
Okay. And when you say this, he wrote Billy Madison. He was a writer on Billy Madison.
Okay. We're gonna okay, great. So that's thumbs up for you, Leonard. I'm not. That's a good thing to note, Leonard. I'm just laughing because I don't have that detail for all the movies. So if you say
I'm on the Wikipedia, it gives all his movies, and if he was a writer, a producer, or as well.
I thought Leonard just had encyclopedic knowledge of Adam Sandler's filmography.
Okay, so wait. So Leonard, give me your thumbs up. I assume that's thumbs up, Billy Madison.
Good.
You don't have to physically do it. Although if you do it, actually, that's all right. Yeah. All right. Happy Gilmore. Thumbs up.
Good.
Thumbs down.
Oh, bull fucking shit, Leonard. You're coming at me so salty with this. All right. Okay, that's how it's going to be. Wedding Singer? I haven't seen it.
I haven't really seen it.
Wow.
It's good.
That's a big one of his.
Yeah, I know.
It's good. That's a lot of people's favorite Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah. And like him and Drew Barrymore, which we can talk about. Waterboy, thumbs up because I'm not a salty not a salty person.
Quinn is not petty.
Big Daddy, thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Little Nicky, I've never seen, but I'm going to give it a thumbs down. I couldn't get past the trailer.
You skipped over Deuce Bigelow, Mel Gigolo.
No, friend. That doesn't count. That's a Rob Schneider movie, Leonard.
Rob Schneider movie. I don't even think Adam Sandler's in that movie.
He is in it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not giving movies where he like he
Okay,
guest starred.
got you.
If you consider Deuce Bigalow an Adam Sandler movie, then Ahsohn, just give me the win now. We can end the podcast.
All right, Little Nicky.
Yeah, Little Nicky.
Thumbs up from Ahsohn. Leonard?
I don't know about Little Nicky was. It's been a while.
You gotta rewatch it, man.
I gotta
rewatch it. It's funny.
I've seen it. I think I saw that in theaters and was just like.
Then we skipped the year 2001 because Adam Sandler took a respectful after 9/11. He was like, "It's not the time for Adam Sandler right now. The world doesn't need me." But he comes back in 2002 with Mr. Deeds, which I'm going to give a thumbs up, even though I think it's probably bad.
No, it's good. It's one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies.
Mr. Deeds is so good. I'm kind of
very good.
Maybe pick Mr. Deeds myself, honestly.
And it's like the first. It's also, I feel like that's like the first bridge movie to like dad Adam Sandler. Okay, like where he starts making movies for kids. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was just about to say. I feel like Mr. Deeds, like you said, is the new genre of Adam Sandler movies. Like the ones we're thinking of now is like he's angry and like just mean and like. Mm-hmm. He became a lot more sweet and endearing in the 2000s, and I think it starts with
he had kids.
Yeah, it's probably because he had kids. It probably had a lot to do with it.
Okay, so Mr. Deeds potentially a turning point. I didn't think about it that way, but that is an interesting insight. Same year, 2002, 8 Crazy Nights. I'm counting it. It's animated, but that's very much a Sandler movie.
I think this is a Sandler movie.
Yeah, very angry white man movie.
Is that a basketball movie? He's a ref.
That kind of is a basketball movie.
That kind of is a basketball movie.
Yeah.
I'll give it a thumbs up. I don't remember that much about it, but I'll give it a thumbs up. 2003, Jack Nicholson, Adam Sandler, Anger Management.
Oh, that I forgot about that.
That
movie.
Right?
honestly is one of it's probably Adam Sandler's best movie on like a technical level.
Wow.
Like as a movie,
the
performances, just like the craft behind it, the writing, like that, it's probably his best movie. It's not necessarily my favorite in terms of like, I always got to rewatch it, but that movie, if you watch it, like that movie, it transcends Adam Sandler. Like that movie is like a good, like the performances are incredible.
My guess is probably because Jack Nicholson was like, I will break your kneecaps if you fuck around on set.
No, that movie's really good. And there's some really funny jokes in it too.
That's another one where I've seen it once and it was probably like right as it came out on VHS. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I almost can't. I'm going to give it a thumbs up, but I want to rewatch it. Leonard?
It's good. You should watch it.
Yeah, that's a thumbs up for me for sure.
All right. 2004, maybe this one's a sleeper. Like I when I wrote this one down, I'm like, oh, if I picked this one, I would have had a real strong argument. 50 First Dates.
Oh man,
thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
That's
probably my favorite.
You can't not give that a thumbs up.
It's great. It's a great concept. It's a great like Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler. Drew Barrymore might be like the best Adam Sandler leading lady. A lot of Adam Sandler movies, it's all, there's a lot of like.
And would this be his first like straight up romantic comedy in the filmography?
Wedding Singer?
Yeah, you know more about Wedding Singer than we do.
Kind of. Yeah, I guess Wedding Singer would be his first.
But those are two of the movies that I think like, because Adam Sandler, and I don't mean to be exclusionary at all here, but I would say like it was more when I was growing up, it was more like boy humor. Like, you know,
he makes boyish. He used to at least.
And I feel like that's where I feel like everybody likes those Adam Sandler movies. I'm not trying to leave out the female population who can enjoy any Adam Sandler movie they want, but that felt more like has something for everyone. And if you weren't a fan of Adam Sandler, like, pissing your pants is cool. Like you might also enjoy 50 First Dates.
If peeing your pants is cool, then I'm Miles Davis.
Yeah.
All right. This is where it starts to get patchy for me. Longest Yard, I'm giving a thumbs down.
Oh, thumbs down. Big thumbs down.
Giving that a thumbs up.
Ahsohn is still on board.
I'm still on board. You haven't lost me yet. That movie is fun, man. It's a lot of fun. And the football is good in it, which is it's not easy to accomplish when you're making like a big broad comedy.
Okay. Yeah, famously a remake of a Burt Reynolds film. Burt Reynolds is in the remake. Yeah. He plays the older prison character. Does he the coach? This is another one I've not seen since
he's like the coach and quarterback.
Yeah.
This is embarrassing and like a bad look for me, but I'm just going to say it because this podcast is where I say these things. But I remember most about that movie is that Courtney Cox, fresh off Friends, which had ended the year before, was looking real good in The Longest Yard.
His ex-wife.
Yeah, this is his ex-wife. There's a scene where I don't know. I just remember being like, Courtney Cox from Friends is in this. That is as much as anything else what I remember about this movie. Also, Tracy Morgan plays like a.
Tracy Morgan.
Yeah, Tracy Morgan being in it too. If you've seen the movie, you know what I mean. 2006, Click. I'm giving that one a thumbs up.
Never saw it.
It's
thumbs up.
Bro, you got to see it.
It's a TiVo remote that controls your life, Leonard.
I feel like that's literally
the boring parts.
Wasn't that just like a family movie? I thought that was like a straight up family comedy movie.
Sure. But
it's good though.
Yeah.
Christopher Walken's in it. Come on, man.
I just love how you go
from section is a future space where Christopher Walken gives you a remote control that controls your life. I like it.
I love that he goes from The Longest Yard to Click, then to I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry.
Jump in the line. Yes, that's correct. That's my next one, 2007. I haven't seen it. Big thumbs down from Ahsohn. He's not been handing out many thumbs downs. Why?
This is the first.
This is where it starts to get bad.
Yeah, the movie obviously hasn't aged well. Yeah, the premise alone hasn't aged well.
Two firefighters getting married so that they can
it's like some kind of tax thing that they're trying to avoid or something.
Right. At a time when gay marriage was still very much like a not commonly, like it was not legal, throughout the U.S. So
it was still, it was so taboo that that's the joke of this movie is like, look at what they're doing.
Yeah.
It hasn't aged well. I've never been the biggest Kevin James fan.
Notable for that because Kevin James has become a kind of Adam Sandler movie repertory player from this movie on. I think this is maybe his first one.
The repertory.
Oh, there's a repertoire. There's a
there's a few.
Is he part of the touring company?
Yeah.
He is mandated in every contract that at least 4 of his friends have to be in his movie.
Whether or not he's in the movie, he gets a $200,000 salary from every Adam Sandler movie.
The movie's not good.
Okay, moving on. 2008. You don't mess with the Zohan,
which I never saw because I've
never seen it either. I know this is my thumbs in the middle.
So it is very bad, but but the reason why I think it's good is because the badness of the movie feels intentional because it is trying to make fun of like Bollywood and like kind of Israeli action movies and stuff like that. So it is intentionally bad. Whereas some of his movies, like Chuck and Larry, are just bad. This movie feels intentionally so. Like some of the effects and stuff are really bad. It's like an obvious stunt man, type of stuff.
You're saying that the movie wasn't just bad; they were trying to make a bad movie because he went on a little run of some bad movies there.
Yeah, I feel like
I think this one is the exception, though. This one is like actually it's better than it should be.
Okay.
I think we have to. Ahsohn clearly already has seen so many more of these movies than we have. I think we have to take you as the authority. But it is funny when you have a bad movie couched in a string of bad movies, and then you're like, "But this one was intentionally bad." It's like,
I know.
So I haven't seen this one. This one maybe should not be on the list. I put 3 question marks next to it when I was listing it.
I'm going to tell you this right now. I think it started with maybe The Longest Yard or whatever. I didn't watch an Adam Sandler movie for 10 years. So I'm not going to see any more of there's a lot of these I haven't seen.
I felt I had maybe outgrown them. Ahsohn, does bedtime stories count?
All right. Yes, it does.
And I have it on the list. Okay,
I don't even know what that is.
Me neither.
So bedtime stories is Adam Sandler plays the janitor at like a fancy hotel. And,
perfect Adam Sandler role.
and his sister divorced her husband and has 2 kids, and she asks him to watch her kids or whatever, and they start the kids tell bedtime stories, or he tells them bedtime stories, and the details that they add, like they basically are granting his wishes. So like the details they add become real. So like he's telling them a bedtime story, and they're like, and then it started raining gumballs, and then it started raining gumballs like in real life. But it's only the details they add. So then he starts manipulating the kids to like say stuff for him so he can grant his wishes.
Of course.
Yeah. And Russell Brand is in it. Russell Brand plays like a bus boy, not a bus boy. What are they called at the hotel?
A maitre d'?
Like a bellhop or something like that. I don't know. I guess I'm from the 40s or something.
Yeah.
but the people who be like, I forget the name, but he plays like one of those, and he hangs out with Adam Sandler and like.
Well, no better way to tell me that a movie's from 2008 than to say that Russell Brand had a supporting.
And if I remember correctly, Adam Sandler like becomes like the sort of like the plot of the movie, like the MacGuffin of it is like this architecture project. Like they're trying to redesign the hotel, and the bad guy, like I don't forget what the bad guy wants to do, but it's basically about because like it's Adam Sandler's parents used to own the hotel. or something like that.
But
and
he's
then
a janitor there?
now this family owns it for some reason, and they want to tear it down and build something else. But he's like, no, we could just revitalize this, and that becomes like the
Adam Sandler loves playing the common man. There's just something about it.
Or a big goofy man child with a speech impediment. Those are kind of his two speeds.
All right, let's get through some. Let's just try to get through these movies.
Yeah. Took 2009 off, or at least I didn't have any Adam Sandler movies from 2009, and then comes back with a vengeance.
You forgot. No, isn't Funny People? Is that not a?
You know what? Thank you for reminding me. That's up for debate. I don't consider Funny People an Adam Sandler movie.
I consider that a Judd Apatow
movie.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it's a good argument, Leonard, because he's very much playing an Adam Sandler character. They even have that scene where his face is on a baby, and it's like a joke movie that Adam Sandler would have made. So he's dealing with that persona. But in the way that I don't consider Uncut Gems or Punch Drunk Love Adam Sandler movies.
Wait, the Funny People on Wikipedia. Funny People is a 2009 American black comedy drama film written and directed by Judd Apatow.
I think they mean
the poster's 3 white people. What?
I think they mean a dark.
Well, I think they mean dark comedy.
Yeah, I'm just saying whoever did that.
African American comedy, starring
dark
Adam
comedy
Sandler.
for sure. Black comedy. Okay. Anyways,
2010 Grown Ups. Now this is where the Adam Sandler repertory players come out in full force. Rock, Spade, Schneider, Kevin James.
I don't know if you can put Rock in that. Chris Rock in as a repertory player.
He is now. He is now.
Yes, you
starting
can.
with Grown Ups, he is now.
This is the start of his tenure.
Yeah,
that's the start of his tenure.
He's been in a ton of Sandler movies after this point.
I heard Grown Ups was really good, and apparently it was. But once again, I was on the I'm not watching Adam Sandler movies.
I snuck into a movie theater to see it, and then I asked for my money back.
No,
I didn't.
Movie is that? There's a Sandler movie. Oh, I think it's Click, or no? There's some Sandler movie where Chris Rock cameos as a cab driver with fake Jamaican, with fake dreadlocks, and he has a Jamaican accent.
It's always some crazy wild shit like that. Some Groundlings ass character shit.
And
that's not Grown Ups, but I don't remember what it's from. But points to whoever finds it.
It doesn't matter.
Grown Ups. Where are you at on Grown Ups? So I'm giving that a thumbs down. Ahsohn.
I'll give it thumbs down. I
can't give anything. All right, you know what? Let's just
rip through them.
Let's get through this list.
2011.
First of all,
just go.
We got to talk about Jack and Jill. Jack and Jill. Jesus Christ, who allowed that movie to be made?
That's the movie that he's making fun of in Funny People about haha, Adam Sandler plays a baby, but then in real life he made Jack and Jill, which is haha, Adam Sandler plays his own sister.
What? How? Why?
I haven't seen this movie. I've seen the famous Al Pacino Dunkin' Donuts commercial part of it, but I have otherwise avoided it entirely.
Think about how much money was wasted. Think about all the crafty and the food services and the food that was thrown away to make this shitty film. You know what I'm saying?
So we totally skipped, which is fine. Just Go With It, which is that Jennifer Aniston movie where Adam Sandler. Okay, that's a thumbs down from Ahsohn. Ahsohn, Jack and Jill is a thumbs down, I assume, or do you sneakily like? That's thumbs down. That's My Boy, 2012 with Adam with
Andy Samberg.
I actually saw that movie, and the premise of that movie is crazy.
Thumbs down. Yeah, that's where Adam Sandler
gets his teacher pregnant when he's 13 or something.
Yeah, it's bad. That movie's really bad.
That movie has Rex Ryan in it, which tells you all you need to know.
Yeah, I don't know why I saw that one, but I saw that one.
2013 Grown Ups 2. Never saw it.
He also plays
thumbs up from Ahsohn.
He actually plays a character named Leonard in that movie. So nice.
Okay. 2014 Blended, which is also Drew Barrymore, I think, maybe, which is they have a blended family.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Never seen it. 2014
good,
The Cobbler. You guys have both said you like that.
Yes,
that's
thumbs up. Thumbs up.
2015 Pixels.
Oh, that looked bad.
Yeah, nobody. Okay, thumbs down from Ahsohn. 2015. This is the beginning of his much talked about at the time Netflix deal. Adam Sandler now makes movies just for Netflix, and the first of these movies was The Ridiculous Six, which was a Western.
Never saw it.
No, thumbs down from Ahsohn. I'm going to give it a thumbs down as well, but there is a funny baseball scene in that movie, and Leonard knows I have to talk about baseball scenes in any movie where John Turturro plays Abner Doubleday, the purported inventor of the game, and he's just making up the rules as he goes so that he can win. Every time he's like, no, if I don't swing at it, it's a ball. And that scene is funny. I like that scene from that bad movie.
He's like making up baseball on the fly.
Yeah.
It's very, very funny.
If I get hit with the ball, I get to take first base. The best is when he just runs to second, and it's like, you can't do that. And he goes, I stole it. I'm stealing second base. Anyway, 2016, The Do-Over. Nothing. It's like more of a do-over. That's the movie where he's like,
oh, The Do-Over actually was funny. I thought.
David Spade
bad,
is in that movie, and
funny.
Adam Sandler plays like a assassin.
Oh, I never saw that one.
That one's actually pretty funny.
Moderate thumbs up from Leonard.
I'll give that one a thumbs up. I'll give The Do-Over a thumbs up.
Sandy Wexler, 2017. Never saw it.
I haven't seen that.
Too annoying.
I saw that too.
I saw the trailer and Adam Sandler doing
was
his like high pitched voice. I'm like, too annoying. That's the same thing with Little Nicky for me. I can't.
Yeah, Sandy Wexler actually was kind of funny.
Okay.
I don't know if I'd give it a thumbs up. I'll put it in the middle. I'll put thumbs in the middle.
Gladiator in the middle. All right. The Week of 2018. That's another one with Rock. That's where Adam Sandler's daughter is marrying Chris Rock's son, and they're like fathers.
Oh, I haven't seen that one. It looked funny though.
Oh, all right. I don't know what it is, but once you got the Netflix deal,
yeah, Leonard loves all the Netflix movies.
I watched The Week of. I didn't watch the six, whatever the ridiculous six, but The Week of is damn it, I forgot. There's another Chris Rock. Chris Rock's back. Again, The Week of was also. I'll give The Week of a thumbs up actually, because it's not one of those slapstick comedies. It's actually just like a sweet like story, and yeah, I'll give that a thumbs up.
All right, we're coming to the end of this very long bit. 2019 Murder Mystery. That's with Jennifer Aniston. He's on a boat and someone gets murdered and they have to solve it. Never saw it.
I also give that one a thumbs up.
Leonard, what is wrong with it? You are loving you said that you disassociated from Adam Sandler in the 2000s. You've seen all
for about 10 years. And yeah, then I came back in 2017, 2016.
The last one, I hope we're all in agreement as of right now, as of this recording, 2020, Hubie Halloween. I'm going to give that one a big thumbs up.
Big thumbs up.
Big
thumbs up.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, Ahsohn, you got to see it.
Dude, there's something about where he was like, all right, I'm going to stop making these shitty movies and I'm going to give them, they all like have heart and like, I don't know. The last few Netflix movies, I really fucked with them all. Obviously, I gave them all.
Watch me take this back to our two picks, Leonard. I like Hubie Halloween because this was the character that I've said. There's two Sandlers. There's Everyman Sandler, which is usually an everyman who has an anger problem. And then there's like weird, like Sandler character movies. And Happy Gilmore is the former, and the Waterboy is the latter. I think Hubie Halloween, he plays a character who's antisocial, seems maybe a little slow, a little touched, and he's very similar to his character in The Waterboy. And also the love interest in Hubie Halloween is the same love interest as Happy Gilmore. So it ties back into both. There you go. That's how you do it, Leonard. That's a pro move by me.
And that's the end of that bit?
That's the end of that.
I feel like we don't have... Well, go ahead. What were you saying?
Well, going over... Does this list tell us anything? I mean, does it tell other than...
This list tells you that Hollywood loves Adam Sandler.
That's 30 movies we just went through, by the way, since 1995. We just went through 30 movies.
Adam Sandler movies. Like,
right.
There were
There's a bunch of others.
More movies on that list.
Yeah, so, nobody was upset I left out Spanglish.
Right. But overall, I mean, Adam Sandler is an entertaining guy. He's funny as hell. He's more of the old school type comedy, though, the more slapstick, like goofy character comedy.
Yeah, and as for like the man himself, I would say Adam Sandler and his movies, certainly his later movies, made not trying very hard cool. Like all of his characters are slackers, and I would also say, I don't think he'd disagree, Adam Sandler is a very limited actor, at least in these movies that we're talking about. And he's really just playing the kind of like smart aleck, but doesn't try very hard character who has a hidden rage underneath in basically all of his movies. Even The Waterboy, where he puts on more of an affect, he's got a stutter, he's got like a Southern Bayou accent that's bad. He still has the same, like, but if you get him angry, he sees red and then he goes crazy. Like that's a consistent thing throughout basically every Adam Sandler movie. I think that's what people like about it, is to see this otherwise mild-mannered guy just go apeshit.
I would say that, yeah, but I feel like once again, when you start to get further into his catalog, that dies down. The anger dies down.
Yeah, he mellows. And I think that's him trying even less hard. That's him coasting even more. He takes away the one thing that people like, and that's what like Punch Drunk Love is about. Like Punch Drunk Love is a Paul Thomas Anderson movie that is like, what if Adam Sandler existed in real life? He'd probably be pretty weird, but in all these other movies, he's the hero.
All right, so let's talk about our 2 movies.
Yeah, Leonard, you go. I just dominated that list, so
I loved both these movies, and I honestly considered Happy Gilmore as one of my choices.
Oh, but you gave it a thumbs down though when we went through the list.
Well, hold on. I hadn't watched either one of these movies in a very long time, and going back and watching them was pretty eye-opening. Mm-hmm. I feel like both of these movies, but even more so, Happy Gilmore was always on Comedy Central. It was like always on TV. Mm-hmm. I've seen it so many times, and like Quinn said earlier, it was like the quintessential sleepover movie. He saw it so many times past 12, which I don't know if that's true, because when we had the sleepover episode, he did not choose it. He chose Wedding Crashers and not Happy Gilmore.
You're misremembering. That was the first movie I ever snuck into, but that's okay. Keep going.
What was the sleepover movie?
I don't remember, but I'll let you know when I do. It wasn't Happy Gilmore.
Mine was Major Pain. I remember that.
I love that movie.
Well, keep going, and I'll let you know when I remember what mine was.
And but he didn't choose the sleepover movies, but
Van Wilder.
Van Wilder, that's what it was.
Classic.
Obviously, there's a lot of problematic things with both these movies. Going back watching them, but I'm gonna just say it now. The Waterboy, I still laughed, I still enjoyed. Happy Gilmore, and I'm surprised, and some of my coworkers came for me last night when I said it. I did not enjoy Happy Gilmore at all.
I think you're trying too hard here. I don't believe you either.
I'm not lying to you. I was so upset. I don't know if I was in a bad mood, but I hated the character Happy. He was a piece of shit. There is nothing endearing about me. But
he loves his grandma.
Yeah, what are you talking about? He's Adam Sandler.
Exactly. Oh, he loves his grandma. Okay, wow. You love a family member that raised you. I should cheer for you. This man was just a white man who was shitty at everything he did. And then just because out of nowhere, he hit a ball fucking far, everyone loves him. Like, Happy Gilmore should be in prison. This man is just out here assaulting people. And there's way too much violence.
Oh, God.
I understand getting someone getting hurt for comedy and all that. I get it when you earn it, but I felt like it was never earned in this movie. You
didn't like that he fought Bob Barker?
That is obviously one of the funniest and best
Ahsohn, don't fall for this. Adam, I'm forgetting the name. What's his name in Waterboy? Bobby Boucher. He literally beats the shit out of his elderly professor because don't pretend that there's only.
And well, this is what I was gonna say, and what I was talking about earlier is how he became more endearing and sweet in the future movies. In his earlier movies, there was just it was just too much anger, too much violence. He does destroy. He should have been arrested for that. And I didn't like that part either. And I did think it was funny though when Henry Winkler throws the baseball and it hits him in the head. That part was funny because it was accidental. But Happy's out here just throwing his club and could hit people. He didn't care about any other human except for himself. And I never even believed that the female lead in Happy Gilmore would ever fall for him. It didn't make any sense. It was he was just a white man getting his way who was a piece of shit, and I didn't enjoy it. It just made me mad.
Okay.
He didn't win you over when he performed that song on the ice rink?
No. That was also creepy. Where he was the whole, I understand it. It was oh, this is kind of sweet, but it's still also kind of creepy. Let's just be friends. And he's oh, I didn't know it. And he's if you miss a shot, then you have to kiss me. And you have to pretend like you like it. I was just just everything about him I didn't like.
Okay.
What about Chubbs though, man?
Yeah, you're really coming after this movie.
Oh yeah. Chubbs is great. The black stereotype who dies at the end of the movie. Yeah, that's great.
Did they even have a black did they even go so far as to have a black stereotype in The Waterboy, a movie that was set in Louisiana?
The kicker, D'Angelo Barksdale.
What's his
Oh,
character?
he wasn't a stereotype.
Nah, he was. I know.
He was a person.
He actually
his
was.
character's
He
name?
was a person. He was, and he was a good character. Like
He's the voice of reason.
He was the voice of reason. And
I'm just saying, Chubbs is a much more fleshed out character, and
Chubbs
love Chubbs.
is not a fleshed out. Chubbs is a fucking one note character.
He is a more fleshed out character.
It's all in the hips. It's all in the hips.
It's all in the hips. And also, he had a goddamn alligator eat his hand that Happy got revenge on. He had a whole backstory. The one-eyed alligator.
Nope. I'm not allowed it.
Wow. All right. I'm not a hater, and I hope this doesn't.
Listen, no.
Because I'm not going to pretend I disliked Waterboy. I liked it.
No, but that's why I led with. I literally was Happy Gilmore was my second choice. I was like, we were giving each other our picks, and I was like, if you've already chosen that, then I'll go with Happy Gilmore. And you're like, no, I'm going with Happy. I was like, I'm going to.
I only took it because you said I could because you wanted to go to Waterboy. I didn't take it from you.
Well, I was like, I'm going to choose Waterboy unless that's what you chose. And if you chose that, then I'm going to go with Happy Gilmore. And you're like, no, I'm going to choose Happy Gilmore. And I'm so happy that I did not choose Happy Gilmore and have to argue.
You're
that
so happy,
hot
Gilmore.
trash, hot garbage film.
Wow. I mean, Leonard trying it way too hard.
I'm not trying hard. I literally am not lying to you. Up until yesterday, I thought I loved Happy Gilmore. And then it was like, oh no, nostalgia just lies to you. Or it's just that I changed as a person because it was just way too
all right. You've had your. I'm going to talk about why I like the Waterboy.
Go ahead.
Kathy Bates is a masterclass in overprotective mama characters. I love that scene where she's having dinner with the coach and there's just a big old anaconda coiled in the front and the top of it. It's like, what part of the snake am I about to eat? And she goes, they don't really have parts, but I would say the knee. Like she's so it's like, Happy, once you finish with dinner, come on in the bedroom, mom will comb your hair. Like she's got so many foosball. She's got so many great lines. Everything she says, little girls are the devil. Everything is the devil with mama. And you understand why why Bobby Boucher is such a man child. He hasn't grown. He's not smart. And it's just because his mom doesn't expose him to the world. And that scene where he tackles the professor is actually a good scene because the professor is telling him what mama taught you isn't right. And it's great. I love Kathy Bates.
He's the standout performer in this movie though.
Colonel Sanders.
Colonel Sanders, he brought it.
It's a shame he's not part of the Adam Sandler repertory players.
Right? I feel like all the supporting cast in this movie was casted perfect. They all play their roles part. Veronica Vaughn, the Colonel, Henry Winkler.
You haven't even mentioned that Fonzie is in this movie.
I was just saying, Henry Winkler is amazing in this movie.
He's so good.
I will say, I really loved, Happy Gilmore obviously had its funny parts. I love the shot where when he drops the ball and the following the ball camera shot, that was a dope ass shot. And also Shooter is just great. Shooter is great.
You're trying to take my thing, man.
Shooter is, well, you over here was praising my movie. I'm like, stop making arguments for my movie. You're literally taking my argument was going to be Kathy Bates, Henry Winkler, but Shooter is you hate Shooter in this.
There
movie.
is no better supporting character, and Ahsohn, disagree with me if you feel different. There is no better supporting character, certainly no better villain in any Adam Sandler movie than Shooter McGavin. Shooter McGavin is maybe funnier than Adam Sandler is in this movie. He is the best.
I could also agree with that, but I'm not going to agree with the part that he's the greatest. I'm going to say Kathy Bates is a better supporting.
Kathy Bates is a better actress. Kathy Bates is hilarious, and there is no more iconic, better, funnier character in an Adam Sandler movie that is not Adam Sandler than Shooter McGavin. Shooter McGavin has a parody Twitter account that will comment on
yes,
I love Mama. But that's not Kathy Bates' most famous role. Do you think Christopher McDonald goes outside and gets anything else from anyone else other than
Bates has been in so many movies. It's a different level of actor and action.
It is what it is, but you know what? Shooter McGavin is so fucking good. And that's when you're like, why do you root for Adam Sandler? Because he's not Shooter McGavin. And that scene where he's upset at people, he's like, it's fucking golf, people. He's so uptight and snooty, and he's going to win the yellow
He's
jacket.
not a villain, but the butler in Mr. Deeds is pretty damn good.
John Turturro is great.
John Turturro.
He's no Shooter McGavin. What do you think about Shooter McGavin and Kathy Bates and Fonzie, the supporting characters in these movies, Ahsohn?
I think they're all fantastic. I think Henry Winkler is really bringing it as the coach. I think he's really good. He brings a lot of heart to that role. I definitely think Shooter McGavin's the most iconic of those three.
The Henry Winkler scene where he's like, "What Mama don't know won't hurt her," and then he shows a tattoo of Roy Orbison on his ass cheek. Is so funny.
Yeah, I mean, Shooter McGavin, he has the name recognition. Like you can say the name Shooter McGavin and people who know who you're talking about. And I can't even, name me another villain character from an Adam Sandler movie, by name.
Yeah, you can't.
So yeah, I would say Shooter McGavin's probably the most iconic, but I think my personal favorite is Henry Winkler as Coach Klein.
I will say this though, the villain in Billy Madison is also very good.
Yeah. The guy from West Wing. What's his name?
Yeah. Not Richard Jenkins, but the other guy from the horror movie. Sorry, I'm 6 Degrees of Separation. I forget his name.
Bradley Whitford.
Bradley Whitford. That's what it is.
He's the guy who would have voted for Obama a third time if he could have been Get Out.
Get Out.
Oh, yeah.
He's good at being villains.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and get into these talking points. And the first one is pop culture. And these obviously are they're heavyweights, but
these might be like two of his biggest pop culture movies.
But one is for sure bigger than the other, and it's Happy Gilmore. Like you said, there's a Shooter McGavin Twitter handle. I was expecting more of a fight from you. Yeah, I have a whole list of things. No, I can't deny that Happy Gilmore isn't the bigger draw as far as pop culture. There's no. I mean,
let me just go over a couple.
We'll go over parts of both.
Okay.
Go over yours for Happy.
But somebody's closer. I say that whenever it's applicable, just like for sports taunts, somebody's closer. You're gonna die, clown is also a line that I've heard said before. Are you too good for your home? Why won't you go in your home?
I say that still to this day.
Leonard is a golfer. I want to. Yeah, that's why you're taking your big I'm a golfer now guy and bringing it to this movie. Happy Gilmore. We'll come back to that. Happy's Happy Place. Where he goes, he envisions a field where Veronica Vaughn is in lace and bringing him jugs of beer, and his grandmother is happily taking care of all that stuff. I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast. Let's see, there's stuff. I can other stuff would come to me, but there's just a ton of things. Oh, we haven't even mentioned Ben Stiller is in this movie for maybe 5 minutes total, and he kills it. He is so funny in this movie. And this is a line I say before where he's having basically Happy's grandmother, when she loses her home, has to live in a retirement facility run by Ben Stiller, who has this big handlebar mustache. And he's really sweet to Happy. But then once he's alone with the old women, he just becomes literally he's making them do slave labor. He's making them make sweaters and selling them for profit. And that old lady who goes, my fingers hurt. And he goes, oh, your fingers hurt? Oh, now your back's going to hurt because you just pulled landscaping duty. Anyone else's fingers hurt? I love Ben Stiller in this movie.
I hate
Can you give me a warm glass of milk and get you a warm glass and shut the hell up?
This isn't a pop culture thing at all, but just watching it, I laughed so hard when he's trying to reestablish his relationship with Chubbs, and so they just cut to Sandler doing his mea culpa, and he just was like, I'm stupid, you're smart, I was wrong, you were right, you're the best, I'm the worst, you're very good looking, I am not attractive. All those moments crack me up.
Yeah, for sure, a lot of great moments. And Waterboy,
I think you sold your movie short. I was expecting a fight.
No. I'm about to give you mine. You got the water sucks. It really, really sucks. That all was stuck in my head for a long time.
Gatorade is better. Yeah.
You got is the devil. I mean, I feel like the biggest one is the medulla oblongata.
Vicky Valancourt showed me her boobies, and I like those as well. Yeah.
No, Sanders, you're wrong.
That's some high quality H2O.
Yes, that is also.
That's probably the one.
That's some high quality. Some high quality H2O.
And you're leaving out. I would argue this is his most memorable role, and I understand he's been the lead of movies. But Rob Schneider,
yeah,
go Leonard, go.
Yeah. Well, it's the "you can do it" and then cut his fucking head off. Like the "you can do it" is probably the biggest.
You can do it all night long. They used to play that at sports arenas around the country. Anytime a team needed a rally or something, and they would be like, if it was a baseball game, it would be between innings, or a basketball game and a timeout. They would just show that clip of Rob Schneider going, "You can do it." And in the 90s and 2000s, I'm sure that that's been phased out. But for a while, you couldn't go to a sports game without seeing that reference.
You really couldn't. And, there's a lot of parts that stick home with people, but I feel like those are like the ones that you hear all the time. For sure, the medulla, I can't even say it now.
Medulla oblongata.
The "you can do it," the high quality H2O.
Sandler movies also have like great soundtracks. At least the ones from the 90s. There's always like great needle drops in those movies. Like the Waterboy starts with "Born on the Bayou," I think. And then they also do like they just have great songs in these movies.
I will say this though, I also didn't like there were aspects of the that I didn't like about the Waterboy too, that with the like just hitting people. Like everybody was so mean to Bobby, and I didn't like how mean it was. Like it didn't make sense. Like, why are you spitting in this water? You have to drink this water. Like it didn't make any sense.
Well, Adam Sandler movies have never. That's why I think it's bullshit that you're coming after Happy Gilmore, as if that's the only movie where he's unreasonably violent and enraged.
I'm not saying that though, but he does change his way. Like it wasn't consistent. It was only in his earlier movies that he was like that. And
all right. Well, before we move on, you mentioned it, but we gotta at least acknowledge the Bob Barker scene too. I feel like that's become a much more.
The Price is Wrong, bitch.
Become a much more common thing where like a celebrity will like make a jackass out of themselves and stuff in a movie. But at the time, especially that it was Bob Barker, like that just was such a funny moment where Bob Barker is just understandably getting more and more upset with him as he is losing the tournament. Oh, the guy was just like, "You will not make this putt, jackass." Like that guy is in this movie. So many funny bits in like all the scenes in Happy.
I forgot about the Joe. I meant Joe Montana.
Joe Montana was a quarterback, you stupid ass.
Or the giant guy that beats up Shooter at the end.
Yeah. Richard Kiel, Jaws from the old Roger Moore James Bond movies. Yes. Yeah. I had to play it off off Frankenstein's fat foot.
Also, that part didn't. All right, so let's go with our second category: is how well do these movies hold up? And
for both. Like any Adam Sandler movie, it's a product of its time. I think they both hold up in the sense that I enjoyed watching them today, but I could look past that. There are clearly some problematic things with both of these movies. Leonard, you go maybe if you have something.
Obviously, the Adam character playing the character and the voice, but I mean, it is acting, and sometimes people need to be represented. I don't think it was like he slighted anyone who was like on the spectrum or anything like that playing.
I could roast you for that, but I'm going to help you out. I think that the Adam Sandler movies get away with it by never expressly saying that he is mentally challenged. So he could just be a mama's boy who was homeschooled. Like there's nothing about
some people use the R word and like,
yes, other people do, but crucially the movie never says he is.
Yeah. They never say he is. So
people that use it are being mean. They're not doctors.
Exactly. My issue was with people were just like so mean to him, but I mean, I guess that's how it works. But
what do you think about that, Ahsohn? I mean, did they get away with it, or?
I think it's handled. I think it's handled okay. Like the character of Bobby Boucher, like you said, is not expressly dealing with any kind of mental issue or anything. Nor do I think the joke of the character is that he's stupid. Right. I think the joke of the character is that he's been raised by his mom, who has, in an effort to like protect him and shelter him, has like fed him an entire, a lifetime of misinformation. And so he's ill-equipped to handle the world. It's not that he's, like slow or stupid or anything.
We also see him learning once he starts going to college and taking classes. Like he passes the
once
GED.
He gets a proper support system.
He gets his GED, and then he's like using college phrases. At one point, Vicky Valancourt is like, "Ooh, college boy," saying all this stuff. Like he's learning, so he does have a capacity to learn. He's not,
which is what I appreciated about that in his character. And I'm I'm not really only coming for this because of the movie. I sat down and watched Happy Gilmore expecting to enjoy it. There is nothing like I just don't understand the way Happy's character didn't have to be such an asshole. There was nothing that made me want to root for him in that movie. So all the parts that seemed funny just annoyed me because I hated his character.
I disagree. I think you can hate his character. I can't disagree with that. But like he actually, the whole point of Virginia Bennett was he needs to control his rage. And you do see he does. It's not a switch that he flips, but you do see those moments where he's like going to throw his club and then he doesn't. And then you see those moments where he needs to, instead of getting angry, kind of work from within. That's what the Chubbs, that's why Chubbs brought him to the mini golf thing. Like you do see him grow, if you want to call it that.
Let me help you.
It's false. Yeah,
I think I got an exercise that might make you like this movie more. Because I think the problem with Happy Gilmore, and I think the disconnect that you're experiencing, is that Adam Sandler doesn't look like a professional athlete. And I think that the idea of Happy Gilmore is supposed to be like he's this hockey player who like is good enough to be a professional, except that he's a lunatic, right?
Yep.
So he quits hockey to pursue golf once he sees that there's an opportunity or whatever. So imagine if the Adam Sandler role was played by Batista or something, right? Dave Batista.
Okay. I feel you on that.
You know what I'm saying? I think if he looked more like this guy should be, a professional athlete, except his attitude sucks, I think the movie would work better for you. But it's also because he looks like Adam Sandler, like just a regular guy. You're like, because the whole movie is about him having to learn how to not be a hothead, like Quinn was saying, and be like a normal person. So I think if he looked more hothead-ish instead of just looking like Adam Sandler, it probably would sell better.
It just seemed like to me he didn't earn the way he acted didn't seem earned to me. He just seemed like some regular ass white dude who was a piece of shit and just punching people in the face, punching coaches in the face. Mm-hmm. And also, even with the whole golf thing, it was like he was getting good at golf, and then he was like, "I don't care about this. As soon as I'm done and get this money from my grandma," he didn't even like appreciate that. And it took other people, which it does take for other people, for him to like enjoy or like take anything seriously.
But that I don't know if you're a hockey guy, Leonard, but that is how people in hockey, like that's the point. Like someone disagrees with him, he puts their shirt over their head and he starts punching them in the midsection. That's hockey.
Unless you're apparently a white man and you can just get away with not going to prison for just punching. There was just too much overt violence for me. It wasn't funny. It was just too low. It was just too low hanging fruit for me.
What about when he hit the golf? He's first driving the golf balls and he hits the guy outside his house.
That made me mad.
His wife and she falls driving the front window onto the bushes.
Yeah, that wasn't funny to me. It wasn't.
Ahsohn's laughing.
It just wasn't funny to me. And it's wild.
I think stunts are very funny.
Yeah,
like when I think of like they had some like stunt lady up there fall out of a window. Like that's funny to me.
Leonard is trying to moralize with Adam Sandler movies because I can't say anything about that other than it's a fruitless exercise when we're talking about Adam Sandler movies to be is this too mean?
No, I get it. Sometimes they just hit you and you like, I'm not feeling this. I get it.
I was honestly surprised though, because I was gonna pick that movie and I loved it. And also, but when I was growing up, I loved it. And it's still, I understand why people think it's funny, but also the whole part that doesn't really hold up either is the whole golf aspect. The fact that this motherfucker comes and is out here beating professional golfers after like 2 months is, especially someone who isn't dedicated to the craft. He doesn't become dedicated until like the last 2 weeks. He's like, I got to learn how to golf. And it's like, fuck you.
Yeah, it's not as realistic as a Waterboy being able to truck 250-pound players and move them so far backwards that he scores a safety. I agree. It doesn't exist in the same realm of reality.
No, I understand. Yeah,
now I'm coming for your movie, Leonard. The gloves are off. All right, enough with this bullshit.
Gloves off.
Both are very good stunts.
I actually think this movie was like right on top. Like literally, this movie came out in 1996. When did Tiger Woods win his first major?
96? No, 99.
Okay, whenever it was
96. It was movie, like he won his first amateur.
crucially,
I went to the Masters in '96 or something.
There are racial differences between Adam Sandler and Tiger Woods. I think we all can appreciate that. But the idea of a young upstart hothead who comes into golf and shows emotion, and I understand that Tiger Woods was not beating people up, but there was that whole thing about the Tiger Woods fist pump and Tiger Woods kind of cursing if he doesn't get off a good drive. That's Happy Gilmore. So actually, I think it holds up incredibly well when you consider that that's where golf was going. Golf was about to have this conversation with itself about we're an old white man sport. We play it respectfully. If you have a bad drive, you go, oh, I'll get the next one. No, golf is for everybody. Golf can have these different personas. And I think you, in trying to knock it down, have expertly why Happy Gilmore was not just aged well, but it was ahead of its time.
I accept that, and I can't deny that. I'm just saying is just wild. It is just the whole
Happy Gilmore is a champion for civil rights, is what he's saying.
This motherfucker got hit by a car.
Gets it.
It was just too much. He got hit by a car and nobody bats an eye.
Happy walked so Tiger could run.
Yeah. Tiger Woods stands on the shoulder of giants.
One of my favorite lines in the movie, and he's like, the economically diverse crowd.
Yeah, they couldn't even, Happy Gilmore couldn't even foresee an age where the person doing this would be black. It could only be like
economically diverse crowd. Oh my God. Okay, well, this is if you were listening to the last episode, we talked about category 3, and I was like, well, we're for sure getting him in the next episode. Boy, did we goof this up. Was Steve Buscemi in either one of these films?
No.
No.
Damn it, Quinn. How is this possible?
Steve Buscemi, if I'd gone with my original pick of Big Daddy, I would have been able to say yes. I think he plays like a homeless person, but he's not. He's not in. Steve Buscemi always debases. That's what I love about Buscemi as part of the Adam Sandler repertory players. He always takes the worst role. Like in Grown Ups, he's in a full body cast. In Big Daddy, he's just like a homeless, an unhoused person. Like he's always like, what's the worst role? I'll take it.
He's the like janitor who's going to kill people in Billy Madison.
Yeah, or in Mr. Deeds, he's got like the crazy eyes. Like he always is just like he always is the most visual gag, like lowest common, like, and I love that about Steve Buscemi, a man who is a fine actor.
Honestly, after we did this, I kind of was mad at myself for not picking Mr. Deeds. I wish I kind of would have picked Mr. Deeds.
Great movie.
It's a great movie.
So we fucked up. I mean, who would he have been? Happy Gilmore. I'm happy with everyone who's in the movie, and they all do a good job. Maybe he could have been like the guy who's like Jackass, although I really like that guy. But that could have been Steve Buscemi in this movie.
That could have easily been Steve Buscemi.
Where would he have fit in Waterboy?
He could have been one of the guys in the crowd, one of the two guys in the crowd, like just talking about. I could see maybe being like a funny assistant coach, like another assistant coach.
Oh, we didn't even
talk about that guy.
We didn't even mention the hillbilly guy. Well, we didn't even mention. I let you get by unscathed with how does this hold up? Your movie has Rob Schneider playing a Mexican character.
Is he supposed to be Mexican?
I think that's the accent that he's doing. Maybe I have it wrong.
I think he's just supposed to be a bayou, like a down south. I don't think he's supposed to be Mexican. I think.
Then I've stepped in it myself. But I always interpreted that as kind of a like.
Wait. You interpreted?
Yeah. You don't. I mean, you think that's like a Southern accent? He's doing the worst Southern accent I've ever heard in my life. If that's,
I think they're all just really bad bayou accents.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll leave that. 4 stats. Leonard, do you want to go first? I think I can go if you're not ready.
No, I got it. All right, so Waterboy had a little bit bigger budget. You know, they decided to give Adam some more money by this time. So the budget was $23 million, I believe, and it made $190 million in 1998.
That surprised me. Yeah, and this was like I guess the beginning of him for like 15 or so years making movies on small budgets and like making a ton of money with them.
Yeah, because both these movies have a lot of extras in it. You know, they got to fill the stands. But this one had, bigger name actors, so they probably had to, foot the bill on that. He was able to get more high profile people. They had to pay more, which it paid off. They made a lot more money. The IMDb 6.1.
6.1. Okay.
Rotten Tomatoes 34%.
Ooh, what?
Yeah, and
That
this
surprises
is
even me.
this is one where I have to bring back the Google users, because the Google users will do for both is 90%, because the people love it.
Okay.
90%.
So let me run through mine real quick then. It was made for, so this was Adam Sandler's second, again, of the Adam Sandler movies. This was his second movie. The first was Billy Madison, which came out the year before. So he was not yet commanding the big budgets, but he was on his way. $12 million it was made for. It made $41.2 million. So that's a hit if you make a movie for $12 million. That is not in the same stratosphere as $190 million, which Waterboy would go on to make only 2 years later. But I would say that's because Adam Sandler is still on the up. He's like only a year removed from SNL at this point. I think he's still establishing himself as a movie star. The idea of Adam Sandler movies
that established him. Waterboy doesn't make 190 million without Happy Gilmore.
Thank you for acknowledging that. IMDb 7 out of 10. That's about a full point higher than than Waterboy. Rotten Tomatoes, this surprised me. This consensus, if my page will load, I think it's showing me that 61%. That's a fresh Adam Sandler movie. How many movies, if we go through Rotten Tomatoes, are going to have fresh critical consensus on
Adam Sandler movies? That's
surprising. It's 61%, and the audience score is 85%, which we didn't. The audience score for Rotten Tomatoes is what it is. Google users, which is Leonard's preferred metric, 92%. So made less money than a lot less money than Waterboy, but it higher on IMDb, higher with critics on Rotten Tomatoes, higher with the Google users.
Yeah, it's nostalgia, but these I mean,
this has been hotly contested.
And we went with the earlier movies in his catalog.
I think correctly, because it's just variations on the same theme and to diminishing results. Except apparently you love the Netflix movies, but I think by that point,
they got better there at the end. But I feel like you can't choose that as the quintessential Adam Sandler movie. I mean, I could, because then he really figured out his formula and what he wanted later, and I think that's why I like his later movies better. There was also a good period run, a good years run of bad movies he made. So
and then every 10 years he will do like a prestige Adam Sandler movie, like Funny People, which I don't think totally works, but I get what he's going for.
Punch, like Spanglish,
Punch Drunk Love.
Punch Drunk Love.
Uncut Gems. He's had a fascinating career. We have chosen, I think, 2 of his most popular movies. Leonard, we are into that 5th and final criterion, The Decision. But before Ahsohn gets to weigh in, we get to have our final say. Leonard, do you want to go first?
I believe I went first last time, so I'll let you go first.
Okay. Let's see. I mean, I'm trying to think of what I can say that I haven't already said. I did not. I spent this whole episode acknowledging that Waterboy is a very funny movie. And Adam Sandler movies, it's in my top 5. So I don't think I can get that upset. I wouldn't be mad if Ahsohn ultimately picks it. I think that Happy Gilmore is better for a number of reasons within the movie, and also just like what we think about for Adam Sandler movies. We've said there's 2 types of Sandler characters. I think the type that most people think about, maybe because the back half of his career he's only played this type, is just like, I'm Adam Sandler. I'm just a guy. I'm kind of schlubby. I just wear, sports tees and a Bruins hat and whatever. That's like how I think if a movie star has a movie star persona, that's Adam Sandler's persona, with that very short, easily lit fuse that causes them to fly into a rage. That's what Happy Gilmore is. I think that specific persona has never worked better than against the backdrop of professional golf, which is the most, and I don't golf and I don't watch golf, but my idea of it is that it's just stuffy, uptight, upper class. You can only do it if you can afford to pay for these courses and pay for all these clubs. And that's why I think it works so well. It's very simple. Hockey anger guy goes and plays golf. It's like, this script probably existed before Sandler. I don't know if it was written for him or whatever, but like he fits into it perfectly. I think Shooter McGavin is the funniest like foil that Adam Sandler has ever had. I think we've gone over like, if the Sandler character doesn't give you much, he's like a passive protagonist. Shooter really drives that story. A lot of that movie is like, I just got to beat Shooter. And his little like Shooter McGavin like guns that he does afterward, like all of those things from Shooter are just super iconic. The scene like any Sandler movie is just a collection of scenes, and are the scenes funny? And that's true for both of these movies. But I just love all the like Richard Keel, his boss with the nail in the head, the guy who says jackass and follows him around, the his caddy who's just trying to make a buck in the parking lot, who he then like makes him his caddy for the rest of the movie. Like all the supporting players are so funny. I think the romance is what it is. I think those movies are about the same, but I really like Virginia Bennett. I am forgetting the actress's name. Julie from
Bowen.
Modern Family. Julie Bowen. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I think she kind of is one of the kind of quintessential leading ladies from Adam Sandler movies. The alligator that ate Chubbs' hand. Like, I just think there's a reason that the production company that makes all of the Adam Sandler movies is named Happy Madison. And it's because there are two movies that everyone thinks about. And I think if we're talking about the best Adam Sandler movie, maybe your favorite is the Zohan. Maybe your favorite is whatever. But like Happy Gilmore is the best representation of what an Adam Sandler movie is. And if you were to say like Adam Sandler movie, that's where people's minds go. And I think that's pretty indisputable. Maybe there's a couple of movies you can make that argument for, but I think it's the most deserving. That's my argument.
All right. Good argument. And he said, that's one of the more Adam Sandler movies, which I feel like you can't deny that. He's basically playing himself, or he plays some wacky ass character, some goofy, wacky ass character, some type of voice or, physical thing. And you get that in The Waterboy. He's entire movie in character playing this Southern homeschooled fish out of water situation where he's actually able to be on the field instead of just being the water boy. And I feel like this movie has more heart. The characters feel you connect more with the characters in these movies, and the supporting cast is just amazing. You have Kathy Bates, you have Henry Winkler. The bits in this I feel like are funnier. I feel like Happy Gilmore is just the same thing over and over and over again. It's just, all right, I'm just going to heighten him getting angrier and angrier. And, he doesn't get as angry, but now he has to get angry. So it's just like, all right, I saw this 20 minutes ago in the film. Obviously, that is going to happen too in The Waterboy, but I just think you have different aspects of the different ways for him to get angry. The Kathy Bates adds so much to it. Henry Winkler adds so much to it. Just a little, you can do it. And, the coach, you have multiple like villains. There's like multiple people you don't like, and then you like them. And when it comes to like Adam Sandler movies, I feel like it's more about his support and all the little small bits, the small character happenings, and you get that in this movie. Happy Gilmore, I know it's one of his early movies, but you really don't get that as much. It's more just an Adam Sandler like driven movie, and I just feel like the getting angry and trying to like control your anger thing, it's funny, but it's not as funny as playing this character and dealing with all the situations he's in. Also, the love interest is, I feel like, more believable and funnier in Waterboy than it is in Happy Gilmore. Like, Virginia, she's a snooty head of marketing for the tour or whatever. And it's like, okay, and them like falling for each other doesn't really seem that believable. But in The Waterboy, it's believable because Vicky is just this wild card, crazy girl going to jail, and their situation is like they're both kind of outcasts who are made for each other. But it's also funny. Like Vicky Valancourt's character is hilarious. Like, should I kill them? Like, I was with you from 2 to 4 yesterday. Like everything that happens in this movie, the foosball, the butt tattoo. I just feel like The Waterboy is Happy Gilmore like 2.0. It's just on a higher level. It's like, all right, I'm figuring out what I'm doing, but I'm going to get better at it. I'm going to get better I'm going to get a better supporting cast. And I just feel like it has more heart, and the physical comedy and laughs you get are more deserved in this movie. And I think it's the better Adam Sandler movie. So tell us, what's your thought process on these two movies and the decision, like why you're coming to your decision, and then you can give us your decision.
And also, Ahsohn, I know I think I asked you up front and then we never got to it. Maybe you don't have an answer for it, so it's fine. But if you do have whatever your pick would have been, and maybe it was one of our two movies, if that's come to you, then feel free to talk about that as well.
Yeah. My personal pick would have been, it probably would have been Mr. Deeds.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, Mr. Deeds.
Yeah, it would have been between Mr. Deeds and Big Daddy, but ultimately, I think Mr. Deeds is more.
That he thought about choosing Big Daddy. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I think Mr. Deeds is like the perfect example of what Adam Sandler is and what like his lane is and what it is he likes about himself and what it is like make his movies, I think, fun and enjoyable. I think Mr. Deeds is like a perfect example of that. And so I think the lesser successful Adam Sandler movies, I think, tend to be the ones where he is a sort of unpleasant guy that has to learn a lesson about how to be more pleasant. I think his stronger movies are the ones where he's the character with all the sympathy, essentially like the Ben Stiller character in most Ben Stiller movies, where like he's the guy who's put upon, who gets all the sympathy and is super likable, and super adorable in a lot of cases, because a lot of them tend to be for kids, but is put upon by the rest of the world, and through his journey of whatever he's trying to do inspires the people around him to be better. I think is where he kind of shines, Adam Sandler. And for that, and I think Mr. Deeds is like the perfect example of that, because he's playing like this innocent guy who comes into Manhattan and teaches everyone how to be a little bit more kind to each other. And I think because of that, I think The Waterboy is the stronger movie. And I've got to choose Waterboy. All right, Quinn.
Reigning champ, now two-time reigning champ, Leonard Smith Jr. We didn't tell you. Neither one of us said it, because I don't think we wanted to put any more onus or like weight on you. But in going into the season, this is episode 8 of a 9-episode season. I was up 4-3. I had a 4-1 lead over Quinn, and you just gave me that 5th and final win that I needed before the season finale. I was very scared. Quinn is very upset right now.
Sorry, Quinn.
It's well reasoned. I disagree with it, but I can't fight it. That's it sucks, man. I almost had you. I almost pulled even with you. You've had a lot of bullshit wins this season, I would say, Leonard. I don't think this is one of them. Ahsohn is the Adam Sandler aficionado, so I have to take his judgment with that in mind. But I'm still mad about some of those ones that I lost, where I felt like I definitely had you on argument, but I think this was a tough one. This was like, which version of Adam Sandler do you prefer? I cannot stand Adam Sandler playing a character, because I don't think he's a strong actor. That's the reason I would never even see Little Nicky. I can't. I need that movie.
He's bad.
And I would say Little Mr. Deeds isn't it like he's not doing like, oh mama, I have to, like, he's not doing voices. He's just Adam Sandler, and then he just gets mad. Like, isn't that he gets mad
Mr.
at that
Deeds
football?
Is where he gets the 40,
that football player, and then there's that scene where the dad like beats the crap out of him over the phone. Like, that's what I think about as Adam Sandler. But I can't argue that the Little Nickies or Bobby Bouchers of the world have their place as well. And I do like some of those movies.
In Mr. Deeds, he's kind of playing Captain America.
Yeah, he's just a super upset.
He's kind of like this super kind of pure, earnest, noble guy who feels like he's from like a different time. Yeah.
He inherits.
Well, that's like a remake of a Gary Cooper series of movies from like the 30s and 40s, and it's like in no one's mind is Adam Sandler like the Gary Cooper of his day. So it's just very like all those like Mr. Deeds goes to town, and like that's I think what those movies are remaking. It's such a bizarre thing to redo them with Adam Sandler, but Leonard, I am not happy with you for going after Happy Gilmore as being a white movie when like every fucking Adam Sandler movie that exists.
No, I didn't say it was a white movie. I'm just saying he was just like some undeserved white man who was getting all this.
That's every movie. That's every Sandler movie.
No,
look at Big Daddy. They let him keep a kid that's not his because he's white. I'm just saying every Adam Sandler movie. I'm going to be.
It was just too much
about this one.
I'm not even lying to you though. I was shocked at how I felt about this movie yesterday.
I know you just you came in and you just went negative, which is a thing that I don't like to do in my campaigning, Leonard. I don't like to go negative about movies that are clearly good and funny, but that's fine.
My coworkers were upset with me last night when I said that Happy Gilmore was trash. They were like, they were upset.
Bad take. But it got you the win.
It got me the win.
No, it didn't. Ahsohn has agency. He makes decisions based on reason. I shouldn't just be. I'm gonna log off this Zoom and then I'll get upset. But right now you are the season 3 champion, and it happened the week before the finale again. That's just bad podcasting. We got to structure that better. You call our guest next week and just let him know that it doesn't really matter.
Well, we haven't even talked about punishment at all.
No, we haven't.
So I guess I'm gonna have to figure that out.
Yep.
Ahsohn, you were a blast. It was great.
Thank you for coming on, Ahsohn.
Yeah. You were a great guest for this category for sure. Where can the people find you?
You can find me on social media at Ahsohn the DJ, at AHSOHN the DJ. I host 2 podcasts. I host a podcast called The Weekly Regular, where I have weekly co-hosts and we talk about pop culture and what's going on in our lives. I also have another podcast called Carl Calls His Cousin on the Flagrant Ones Patreon. So yeah, go to patreon.com/
former guest Carl Tart.
With Carl Tart, yes. He's been on the show. What did you guys talk about with him?
We fucked up that.
It was a notorious episode.
It's a notorious episode because we fucked up the prompt and we didn't understand what
notorious
movies that you love that everyone hates.
Oh, and what were the 2 options?
Street Fighter versus Matrix Reloaded.
Who hates Matrix Reloaded? That movie's great.
Wow. I like Matrix Reloaded. That's why I picked it. I'm under the impression
that's a good movie.
I was like,
many
this movie
people
is
dislike
good.
the Matrix sequels, and I was lumping it in with Revolutions, maybe. But like,
you should have done Revolutions. A lot of people.
But I don't love Matrix Revolutions. I agree that movie sucks.
And
Leonard picked Street Fighter, which my argument was no one has negative feelings about Street Fighter because they don't think about it, and that's why I won. Also, because Carl hated Matrix Reloaded.
Street Fighter is so bad that it's good.
Right.
Exactly. But Carl hated Matrix so much that he turned it off, so therefore it won. And it didn't make sense. I was like, this doesn't make
He turned it off and he called his cousin.
Yeah, he called me and told me all about it. But yeah, if you want to listen to that if you want to listen to me talk to Carl Tart on a Zoom call for 20 minutes twice a week, go to Flagrant One or patreon.com/Flagrant Ones. Look up Carl Calls His Cousin. We'll be there.
The Weekly Regular is a great podcast. I've been on there.
Yes, Leonard's been on once or twice.
Yeah, once. We can make it twice.
Yeah, you got to come back. Leonard's been on there.
Episode.
And on the socials, Ahsohn, is there a Twitter, Instagram where people can find you?
Yeah, my personal one is at Ahsohn the DJ. You can follow at Weekly Regular and at Carl Calls His Cousin everywhere.
Sweet.
Fantastic. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I am super depressed. I'm going to go cry for the rest of this Sunday, Leonard. I hope your Hawks lost. But I am. We will determine a lot of things in the season finale. There is reason to tune in. We'll have a great guest. We'll have a great prompt. We will determine my punishment, and we'll see if there's a little bit extra at stake in the last matchup of round 3. Until that time, Leonard, water sucks. Gatorade is better.
4.